And thanks for sticking with us here at 7:30. If you do the grocery shopping in your house, you have probably seen the signs and the shelves. Eggs right now are in short supply. This is from Food Line, a store in Union County. It says egg supplies are currently limited. Similar situation at nearby Harris Teeter. The sign says they are experiencing a shortage in all types of eggs because of the ongoing avian flu outbreak. And it's not just here, it's happening all across the country.
It said limit 2, and I really couldn't find any brown eggs. They're all white eggs. You know, I have a diet that needs protein, and yeah, it's one of my sources of protein. So now I have to, I don't know, go to something else.
Yeah, and the shortage, of course, means prices, they are shooting higher. In fact, why don't you take a look at this graph. This is from Trading Economics, and what you're seeing here are egg prices over the last year. And in the fall, you see the little dip back here. We're looking at national average of about $2 a dozen for eggs. Well, the price right now, you see it there at the end, north of $7. So that's tough for you at home. Now imagine running a restaurant.
We only get like a couple of days notice of, oh, hey, guess what? There's an egg shortage and your eggs are going to double or triple in price. You know, when it goes from $35 a case to $68, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, because they use several cases a day. It's all caused by that ongoing, again, avian flu outbreak. It's an outbreak that egg producers have been dealing with for several years, but recently it has exploded. Since the start of the most recent surge, close to 150 million hens have had to be destroyed. So it is a nervous time for those who make their living producing all those eggs. And around here, one of the biggest farms is Simpson's Eggs. They've been in business in Union County for 100 years. Right now, they have 1.6 million hens that are producing 1.2 million eggs a day. Earlier today, I talked to the company's president, Alex Simpson.
You know, High-Path HPAI first came on the scene in 2015. It was just a springtime thing. Yeah. Hit some flocks, kind of went away when the hot weather came. And, you know, since then, we learned a lot about biosecurity and keeping this off the farms. But this particular outbreak's been going on since almost 4 years now. And it's just, we just can't get ahead of it no matter what we do.
You said your flocks are healthy right now, but I mean, how fearful are you? Do you wake up every day worrying about this?
Oh, we pray about it every day here. It's a big fear. You know, we used to think that we could beat it just with biosecurity. And biosecurity just keeping things off the farm, you know, a fine line of separation from stuff coming in from outside. Yeah. And we used to think we could beat it like that, but we've seen some of the most stringent biosecurity plans in the country fall to this. So now that's just not enough right now. So we're just saying our prayers. We're doing everything we know to do, and just being as diligent as possible.
Yeah, that's the thing. A few years ago, we might have come out to your operation and talked to you in person, right? But that wasn't really an option right now. Describe a little bit more about how just the day-to-day operations have changed.
Yeah, so like you said, I would love to have you out here on the farm. I love showing people my farm. I used to love to do tours for school groups. There was nothing better than that to see little kids. Now it's essential personnel only. If you needed to come to my farm for a specific reason, we'd have to wash your vehicle in and out. To go in the chicken houses is a whole nother level. All the clothing is washed and sanitized on site. Foot baths to go in. So it's changed the way we do business a lot. We've gotten used to it now, but it doesn't make it any easier on a day-to-day basis.
So do you have to test birds every so often? How does that part of it work?
So we do test birds when we move them from one farm to another. You know, as they grow, we grow birds to a certain age on one farm. We test them before we move them here. But other than that, it's just noticing. You know, we know birds. We know when they're healthy. We know when they're not. So when we see a little health issue or some mortality that we're not used to, that's when people are starting to test birds. And you know, unfortunately, sometimes that's a positive for AI.
If a bird would test positive, then at that point, what happens? What's the process going forward with that?
So this is kind of an eradication thing. So if one bird on your farm tests positive, USDA requires that the whole flock be depopulated, the whole farm be depopulated. So yeah, that's how it's wiping out so many birds. You know, we've probably lost getting close to 20 million since January 1st. When I say we, the industry as a whole,
right?
Since January 1st of this year.
I'm sure you get questions too about just the public. Is there a risk to them if they would eat an egg that came from a bird that had the flu?
So CDC says this is a very low risk to human health. There have been some cases across the country. Most of the people that work directly with sick hens, if you're cooking your eggs thoroughly and doing everything you should, there's a very little risk to it. What we don't want to happen is we don't want to see this virus mutate into something that's easier transferable to humans. That's the worst case scenario. That's why we're wanting to get more research going and really get USDA to push towards helping us find a solution to this problem.
I was going to ask you about that change in administration, right? There's been some conversations about what's happening with funding and communication and all those sorts of things. Has anything changed so far? Or are you worried about any of that?
I do have a new administration. We haven't, actually, I'm going to be in DC next week talking to congressional members and with USDA. And what we're asking for is we're just asking for the funding and research to be poured into this. We're asking for them to take it very seriously. This is the nation's food supply. Right now it's mostly eggs, but this is also hitting turkeys and meat chickens, and it's in dairy cattle now. So we really it's time to take this serious. This is a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal, and one story we'll continue to follow. Alex Simpson from Simpson's Eggs. We appreciate his time. Turning now